So it is not about not having a national conversation. Everyone agreed, but the president took that decision. And that is why our presidential candidate in the same party can say, I will remove it. Okay? So it is not a party position. It is the personal decision of the president, and he's the president.
Okay. There was one conversation I remember you had. I think you chaired that committee as well, on your party's decision about restructuring.
Restructuring, yeah.
What happened to the report?
We submitted the report. The president agreed with it. Action is supposed to be taken. Some bills have even been drafted and sent to the National Assembly, but it has not gotten the traction that it has. Again, this is another thing that all the presidential candidates have agreed that it should be adopted and implemented. So and it will solve many of our problems. Why wasn't it actioned
in this government? Didn't the president agree with it?
I honestly don't know. I have not, for the past 3-4 years, I have stopped trying to understand how the federal government works. Okay? I just focused on trying to make my state work because that's my primary responsibility. There are some things that we agree with the president, and he says this will get done, and it doesn't get done. And those that refuse to get it done don't get punished.
So there are big questions when you say that. I mean, because right now people are wondering what is happening with your party's presidential campaign council. It doesn't appear that everybody is on the same page, singing from the same hymn sheet. So for instance, if you have a president who is saying, I don't want to remove subsidy because it's going to hurt
the president is not on the ballot. The president has his tenure up to 29th May. He may not want to remove subsidy, but our party, if you look at our manifesto, we never promised that we're going to keep petroleum subsidy. We never did. Our party never promised that we'll redesign the currency. It's not in our manifesto.
Well,
so you need to separate, okay, the personal decisions of some people in the villa from the manifesto of the party. It's important to understand that.
Is there a division? Because the people in the villa, some people will argue that they're parts of your party.
No, most of them are not. That's what is interesting. Most of them are not.
Is there a division between those around the president and those within your party right now, which is affecting your party's presidential campaign council?
I believe there is. I believe that there are elements in the villa that want us to lose the elections because they didn't get their way. They had their candidate. Their candidate didn't win the primaries. And I think they are still trying to get us to lose the elections. And they are hiding behind the president's desire to do what he thinks is right. I'll give 2 examples. This petroleum subsidy, okay, which is costing the country trillions of naira, was something that we all agreed will be removed. In fact, I had a discussion with the president and showed him why it had to go, because how can you have a capital budget of 200 billion for federal roads and then spend 2 trillion on subsidy? This was a conversation I had with the president in 2021 when the subsidy thing started rising. He was convinced. We left. It changed. Everyone in the government agreed. It changed, okay? Secondly, the second example I will give is this currency redesign. You have to understand the president. People are blaming the governor of the central bank for currency redesign. No. You have to go back and look at the president's first outing as president. He did this. Buhari Idiagbon regime changed our currency and did it in secrecy with a view to catching those that are stashing away illicit funds. It's a very good intention, very clean intention. The president's heart is white, okay? But doing it at this time, within the time allotted, just doesn't make any political, economic, or sense. And for such a program to work, okay, we have to be involved as governors, as subnationals. Because, look, in my state, there are 2 local governments without banks. In Borno State, out of 27 local governments, only 2 have banks. In Yobe State, out of 17 local governments, only 2 have banks. So how do you expect farmers in every part? And remember, Borno State is 4 times the size of the 5 southeast states. So how do you expect everyone to change his currency within the time limit? Look, there are some things
So knowing the example and given the example that you've given, what then are the chances of your candidate in the presidential elections?
Look, the people of Nigeria should understand that these are not the policies of the APC. They are not the policies of our candidate. They are the policies of fifth columnists that want to bring us down. They want to bring this country down. Because, look here, the governors met a few days ago and sent a delegation to meet with the governor of the central bank on this matter. We've never been really involved in this. We said, look, we are the people that listen to the cries of those below. I went to Cubao and Ikara for campaign last week. And after the campaign, after the rally, the Farmers Association came to me. They said, look, we thank you for all your good policies in agriculture. Buhari has helped in anchor borrowers and this and that. And we thank you particularly for bringing Olam that takes up all our grains that we produce. But why are you trying to make us poor overnight? There is only 1 bank branch in Cubao local government. Cubao local government is larger than Anambra State. 1 local government. There is 1 bank branch. And these are farmers that have millions of naira of their hard-earned money. These are not politicians in Abuja that have stashed billions. These are farmers that have millions of naira. It's their hard-earned money. And they want to change it. And they have to travel 100 kilometers to the nearest bank branch. And on their way, there is a chance that bandits will even seize their money. How can that be done in a few months? It can't. So we went to the governor of the central bank. I said, look, extend this thing. And let's work together. Okay? The governors with security agencies, we provide vehicles to the banks and central bank. We go town to town, village to village, market to market, and say, come and change your money. We support the idea of redesign. We know that there are people with stashes of cash. We also want that mopped up, okay? But we should not in the process make ordinary people suffer or ignite the anger of voters against our party as if it is our party's policy. It is not.
All right.
It is the policy of a few people.
Well,
and it's probably either not well thought through or intentionally designed to crash the political process. Because what happens if tomorrow people start protesting because they don't have cash, they can't transact? People are trading by barter because many that have deposited their cash cannot get the new currency.
All right, Excellency, we need to go at this point, and perhaps we will try to get one more bite at the cherry before you hand over. It's over 100 days, so there's still a lot of time for us to have one more interview with you before that time.
So there is 117 days.
So there you go.
116 days.
You've really been counting down.
Yeah. I want to get out. I want to rest.
All right, well, we will get out of the studio now because we're completely out of time. But we thank you for coming on, His Excellency Nasir El-Rufia, Governor of Kaduna State. Well, that is the